It really was the catalyst for us to innovate.
Small teams, big teams, universities, commercial teams.
It says that innovation can come from anywhere.
This is the model for the future.
Wright Brothers Institute was thrilled to help with the 2019 Swarm and Search AI Fire Hack. It was a great experience to bring together some amazing student teams, some small businesses, solving these incredible challenges for the Air Force and for our partners in the United Kingdom.
I'm most proud of the relationship that we've worked up with the Air Force Research Lab and also the Wright Brothers Institute. The relationship that we've had there has really enabled us to turn around what was an incredibly exciting, enlightening, innovative, enthralling event.
There's a lot of things we're hoping to get from this challenge. One of the main things I'm interested in doing is trying new ways to find new partners and new ideas for the Air Force. And sometimes we may not be that accessible of an organization, so we wanted to create interesting and exciting pathways to entice people to come engage with us so that we could discover new ideas, new talent coming up, new teams that were ready to help us solve our problems.
We really need to broaden our perspective in terms of who we partner with, in terms of finding the entrepreneurs, the innovators who can contribute to getting the product again to the warfighter faster, which is our ultimate objective.
So we picked a topic of autonomy and a recent humanitarian area, which is fires that were raging in California, but they had to autonomously control vehicles to map a fire zone in California as it's moving and changing with time.
With our approach, and why WBI made it so unique, was we did a pre-challenge that was online. So we could really vet the participants' abilities before they showed up on site, which meant they were going to get the most out of the challenge, and we were going to be able to identify the companies and participants that were going to have game-changing technologies for the United States Air Force.
It gave these teams a chance to grow together, to experiment with different solutions, and to really expand the range of solutions that they brought to the table. And then when they came for the hackathon, and we upped the level of complexity, they were prepared to adapt to those changes, and I think we got a better product.
We already had these subsystems working well, so it allowed us to, collaborate better and iterate better because we had a working system.
And because the hackathon allowed us to prepare beforehand our code into little modules, this was easier to do.
It was just such a good experience for the students. It was good for them socially, it was good for them intellectually. It was very nice that the cash prize for grad students was very non-trivial.
Some of the earnings was actually put back into the lab. Parts were bought for different UAVs and UGVs for the lab.
Yeah, it's been exciting.
So since the competition, we've really worked on refining the details of the concepts that we came up with.
Thanks to Air Force, we are still using their program, the software that they have, to even enhance the machine learning algorithm that we developed for the fire hackathon even further.
We learned a combination of things. One, we did come up with a fairly clever way to take a neural network-based architecture and map the environment, which we hope to publish in an upcoming submission to a journal.
We developed certain methods that we couldn't actually find in the literature that solved the problem that we were presenting with. And we really felt that presenting this research in a journal paper would help others and advance the field.
And we feel like it will help a lot of other people in the research community.
Yeah, I guess I've never taken part in anything that is not theoretical, so something that's actually applied. The idea that you can go from no knowledge about something to a working idea which could be used in the real world is crazy, especially over the course of 3 days.
Several of the companies have told me that what they learned here actually improved their products.
Our approach really is what got refined by this competition, and we're definitely applying that. I've already had projects that we've taken this and we've started to apply it to.
All of the lessons that we learned during the challenge were skill sets that we use every day here at work.
It sounds a bit cliche to say, oh, it was an eye-opening experience, but it was. It really was.
My opinion of the Air Force has changed since being in this competition. Beforehand, I really thought that the Air Force only really valued the opinions of people within the Air Force or people within that community. However, it did show that they valued the opinions of people outside of the Air Force.
And by having this event where AFRL spokesmen actually got up and presented to us and they told us what their research was very exciting, very interesting, and helped make a lot of connections to the same research we're doing. And we're like, hey, we're doing very similar things. I had no idea the government's interested in these type of things too. And so it was great from the standpoint of understanding how our government operates and understanding how research is done.
This is a great success. It's a learning exercise, not just for the teams, but for us.
I think it's translated very well in terms of what AFRL and DSTL can do together in this important space.
Because what we're really trying to do is trying to experiment with our process. You know, working with the UK closely is an experiment. Using a software competition is an experiment. Having a face-to-face showdown is an experiment.
So these sort of experiments that we're running, those sort of approaches are going to allow us to mine technology in a way that we never were able to before.
Yes, this is the future. This is how we're going to do business because we want to look at all kinds of ideas, and the only way you do that is get outside of the base, get outside of the external environment of the Air Force and talk to people and let them play. And that's what we're doing. And so you're going to see more and more of these. This is the future.